How many people review your PRs? Let me know down below. I have a bit of a controversial opinion on this, and I've implemented this in a few different companies, and I've always seen this work really well, but I haven't actually shared it with a wider audience. So, my view, my preference is you should only have one other person review your PR. I say one other person because this leads to two PR reviewers, the first being yourself. So when you create a PR, what I like is to set up a template on that PR. So on Bitbucket as your GitHub, a template with a bunch of checkboxes. Different platforms work better with whether or not you can actually tick them, by the way. But this covers things like, let's say it's front end development focused, then we'd have check the accessibility score, check all the stuff in Lighthouse, maybe attach screenshots of it on mobile, tablet, and desktop just using emulated devices, something like that, just to show that all of the sort of like common pitfalls, the things you might fall over, linting has been performed. If you just read that and you go, yep, 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 oh, I need to do something here, quickly do it, do another push, yep, tick, and at the end of that, you approve your own PR. Now you need two. First person's yourself. No one else should be picking it up until the author of the PR has already approved their own PR because they're still working through their checklist. After that, essentially anyone should be picking it up. Now, I do think it's important to say that, juniors should be having their PRs reviewed by seniors, and maybe seniors can have their PRs reviewed by juniors, but also at the same time, maybe a second opinion, or they look over it extra carefully. I'm not saying, Wild West just throwing stuff out, but as a general rule, two people in a pretty evenly skilled team. The first being the author, the second being any other random person. Now, the reason why I like this is what it does is it adds responsibility onto the PR reviewer. And what I like to say is both people are equally responsible for that PR, so they get equal credit, and they should work as a team if there is a problem to identify what the issue is. Now, I think when you're reviewing a PR like this, not always the case, but you should be checking it out, you should actually be running it locally, and so I expect a lot more from someone reviewing a PR. What I see far too often is, someone at a company would say, we need another 3 reviewers. We've got one, we need another 3. And essentially, the first person who reviews it thinks another 4 people or another 3 people are going to be reviewing this. I'll just look at what's important to me. Maybe they're really into linting or naming conventions or something like that, and they sort of review it from a limited aspect, very very quickly. Maybe write one comment. That's essentially all they've looked at. The second, third people, it's like, well, it's already been approved and I'm not going to be the last. And the last person might be thinking, well, 3 other people have already approved it. And so it's called the bystander effect, which is that, if someone falls over on the street and there's a load of people around, they're less likely to get the medical attention than if one person was around. If you're the one bystander, all responsibility is on you and you're definitely going to help them. But if you see loads of other people not helping, you start assuming that other people have already assessed the situation and it's not needed, or whatever the reasons may be. So that's why I like to do this. I think it's worked really well. I know companies that I've moved on from have continued this. So, I think this actually is one of those things that if you are experiencing issues, I definitely don't recommend you make changes if everything's working fine. But if you find in your stand-ups, people are saying, we need more PR reviewers, blah blah blah, and you're also seeing issues where you need to be doing fast follows or pulling stuff off, then I would say maybe you should give this a go. But anyway, I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and that's it for now. Cheers.